please. Now the very last but not the least discussant. This time, I led the card out of the back area that all the three discussants are women, are ladies. So we've heard from two. Now the final discussant. She's not just a lady, female, but a brilliant young girl. So she will also be speaking for all the youths of Nigeria, men and women. This young lady is very exceptionally brilliant, with masters in economics from Valencia, with executive MBA from Rome. In addition to being exceptionally brilliant, she is also very, very hardworking. Extremely so. In the past couple of weeks and in recent days that we worked closely on organizing this summit, I grew to know her and to respect her. Oftentimes, we close our sessions 2 a.m., she'll be there. 3 a.m., she'll be there. May I invite to the podium Ms. Sarah Ibrahim to speak on behalf of all Nigerian youths, and it's most befitting that she is going to speak on the economy. She's an economist with a master's degree in economics. Sarah Ibrahim.
Thank you, Dr. Kashim. All protocols duly observed. His Excellency Governor Seyi Makinde, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. I would want to first of all thank Professor Pat Utomi for that brilliant paper on the economy and what we are currently facing in our dear country. He made a very, very strong statement when he said, the voice of the people is the voice of God. The voice of the people is also the voice of power. The first question I want to ask each and every one of us sitting today as leaders in our various respectives and as stakeholders, is our economy a pass or a failure currently, today? The youths of Nigeria are the most affected people of Nigeria's economy today. Currently in our country, we have 80 million Nigerian youths who are out of jobs. Not people who cannot work. People who have the ability to work but cannot find a job. 80 million Nigerian youths. In recent years, more youths have been impoverished in Nigeria than in any other country of the world. And we have also been ranked as the worst place to live in. And I'm very sure that if our economy was thriving, like they are making us to believe, we would not currently be the worst place to live in the world. We are even nicknamed the world's capital of poverty. All of that must change. All of that needs to change. And the time to change it is now. Nigeria currently has the highest number of poor people in the world. 141 million Nigerians are poor in a country of 200 million people. 141 million Nigerians currently cannot find food to eat. In a country of 200 million people, that is more than half of our population. Is that a pass or a fail? In 2022, before the coming of these governments, our GDP stood at $477 billion. By 2025, they came with a new word. They said they are rebasing. These are the same people. Before they came to power, they asked us one question. Now statistics we go chop. Today our economics is so bad. Every day what they do now is dish out statistics. We are all now eating statistics. In 2025, currently, our GDP has fallen to $285 billion. Even after the rebasing, that is a 40% decrease in just 2 years. So what exactly is this government doing with our economy? And the people who face this the most, every single day of their life, are the Nigerian youths. Today we have over 20 million out of school children. Not because they do not want to go to school, not because they are not capable to read, but because they cannot even afford to go to school. And what is this government doing about it? We are currently ranked as the 4th most terrorized country in the world. 4th. Our insecurity is so bad that it affects our daily lives. Just last week, we saw little kids who were about to go and write their UTME exam, and they couldn't get there because they were carried on the road. They call it banditry. Speaking about banditry, our economy now, for every person that is doing business, I'm sure if I ask right now, how many of us are currently living our daily lives through the businesses that we do? More than half of us will raise our hands. But how many of us use electricity to do business? Each and every one of us will raise our hand. They've changed everything from band A to band B to band C. But sadly, in the country, we are now all bandits because we are living in darkness. Each business in the country right now, we are all living in darkness. So where is the band A? Where is the band B? Where is the band C? Our businesses are suffering. This same president protested when fuel was 141 naira. Today, fuel is 1,450 naira. Where is his protest? The same president protested when dollar was 460 naira. Today, dollar is above 1,400 naira. That is a 95% increase. Where is the protest? I think at this rate, our current president needs to start protesting against himself. Because if the opposition leaders even want to speak, our civic rights and our civic duties are even trampled on. Our investment currently in the country is even very terrible. So we want each and every one of us as leaders to come together to ensure that the Nigerian youth get things right, to ensure that the Nigerian youth have a country that works, a country that functions, a country where people can afford food, where the economy can thrive, where people can go to school, where our economy can stand. And I want to plead with each and every one of us here as leaders of opposition parties, as we come together today, please and please, history will not remember this summit. No. History will remember the outcomes that will come out from this summit. Let it be our decision today would be to come out together, stronger than ever, not just to save me or to save yourself, but for your children, for us, for our future. Because we need to get on the same train, on a train to move Nigeria forward. So I have this last request to our current president. We are all, as opposition leaders, on a moving train to make Nigeria better. And he has just 2 options, only 2. It's either he resigns and joins this moving train, or he gets out of our way. Thank you.
Brilliant. We all want a Nigeria that works for everyone, not for a few. I think that is the most important message. We desperately want a Nigeria that works for everybody. And the only way we'll have that Nigeria is how Tinubu must go. Let him just leave so that we'll have a country that works for all of us. This is our collective demand. Have I spoken for all of us? Thank you. Now, you've seen too much of me. I'm now going to take my exit from the stage. May I, at this stage, invite the gentlemen from all the parties who have brilliantly, professionally, and wonderfully anchored today's events, Ini and Ladan, to do the needful. While the speeches and the speakers were addressing us, we had constituted a small committee to work on a communique. And I believe that that communique is ready, but it is not in my place to present it to you. There are very senior party leaders here whose responsibility it is to come forward to do the presentation. May I hand over the mic to Ini to invite our chairman. Thank you very much. Thank you, gentlemen. May God grant us journey mercies.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, when the co-chairman speaks and you are walking towards him, you have to keep a distance so that you can measure your height with him. It was Henry Longfellow who said, great is the art of beginning, but greater is the art of ending. All of what we have done, if we live at this point, we would have done nothing. And therefore, the constellation, the sifting, the crystallization of all we have done is what we are about to do now. And maybe that is why Shakespeare himself said, all is well that ends well. Because if for any reason, while Alhaji Kashim was speaking, something happened and we left, they would say we had gathered, yes. They would say we had discussed, yes. The question is, what did we agree? And like Sarah said, we will not be remembered for what we discussed. We remembered for what we agreed. And that is why Kabiru Turaki has said that we must have an accord. We must have a declaration and an agreement. Therefore, on behalf of Ladan, my only single duty at this moment is to invite the two gentlemen who were co-chairmen and all other national chairmen who are here to please come for the presentation of the communique. My honor, therefore, to invite His Excellency, distinguished Senator David Bonaventure, His Excellency Kabiru Turaki to lead their colleagues for the presentation of the communique, which is the crystallization of the things we have discussed and agreed here. Without this, all of the things we have done would have come to naught. So please, shall we invite them as they come with their colleagues, chairman, national chairman, representative of national chairman, to please come for the presentation of the communique. If our hands are not too busy, I'm sure we can give them a hand clap that encourages them to finish quickly so that we can go too.
Please, other chairmen of other political parties in attendance should please come up to the stage to support the rendition of the communique.
Your Excellencies, distinguished leaders, distinguished invited guests, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, for a couple of hours this afternoon, we sat down out of pure patriotism for the love of our nation to listen to an array of discussants who have spoken to us on a number of key issues that will propel our country forward. We've spoken
about decayed and decaying infrastructure in Nigeria. We've spoken about collapsed economy and what can be done to revamp our economy. We've listened to experts who have spoken about the issues of insecurity in this country and how thousands of lives are being lost without any remedial steps being taken by government. We've also listened to ourselves when we spoke about issues bordering on hounding and pounding on opposition elements, issues relating to injustice, issues relating to unfairness, issues relating to inequity, issues relating to muzzling, an attempt to kill multi-party democracy in our country. And having agreed unanimously from the suggestions that leaders have made this afternoon, the team of rapporteurs have came up with a draft which we, the leaders of the opposition political parties, or our representatives have examined and are satisfied with what we are now reading out as the Ibadan Declaration. Communique issued at the end of opposition political parties' national summit held on Saturday, April 25, 2026 in Ibadan, Oyo State, hereinafter referred to as the Ibadan Declaration. Participating opposition parties in Nigeria, after an extensive deliberation on the collective threats that we face and the existential challenges facing our country under the stronghold of the oppressive and anti-democratic APC, and given the need for urgent collective action to rescue our nation and the destiny of over 200 million compatriots, hereby resolve as follows. 1. That we shall resist all machinations by the APC to foist a one-party state on Nigeria and fight for the survival of multi-party democracy in Nigeria. 2. That despite the onslaughts and machinations of the ruling party, the APC, to ensure that President Bola Tinubu emerges as the sole presidential candidate in 2027, we shall field candidates and contest the 2027 presidential and other elections. 3. That we shall work towards fielding one presidential candidate for the 2027 elections. We shall be agreed and supported by all participating opposition parties to rescue our nation and her long-suffering masses. 4. That INEC Chairman, Professor Jai Shojo Amopitan, having shown bias and open partisanship in favor of the ruling APC, should not conduct the 2027 general election as the Nigerians across board have lost confidence in him and his capacity to guarantee the required neutrality to deliver a free, fair, transparent, and credible election. His continued stay in office is vexatious and capable of triggering widespread crisis in our nation. 5. That the National Assembly should immediately review the Electoral Act 2026 to remove all sections and clauses that threaten the sanctity and integrity of the elections and run counter to constitutional provisions. 6. That all leading politicians that have been detained or harassed on bailable offenses be released with immediate effect and be allowed to exercise their fundamental rights of participation and inclusivity as Nigerians. 7, that we consider the recent guidelines released by INEC as obstacles deliberately engineered to impose conditions and deadlines on the opposition parties. We therefore demand that INEC extends the deadline for primaries till the end of July 2026. 8, the summit commends Nigerians for their resilience and readiness to work with opposition parties to free our nation from state capture. 9, the National Summit of Opposition Political Parties thanks the Oyo State Governor, Governor Sheyi Makinde, and the people of Oyo State for hosting this epochal event. Finally, it should be noted that this is just the beginning of a series of collaborative efforts, meetings, and summits that Nigerian opposition elements will be doing from now till the end of 2027 elections. And thereafter, we shall also proceed to ensure that the rights of Nigerians are not taken for granted. Thank you very much. I will now hand over to the chairman of ADC for closing remarks. Your Excellency, sir.
The first thing I want to do is, I'm sure you understand, those in favor that we adopt the communique say aye. Aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. We have endorsed the communique. We would like to appreciate you, and we would like to appreciate all the young chairmen who are here with us today. I think it's a wonderful thing that we've been able to meet. It's an excellent union, and we'll continue to do this. Once more, on behalf of all of us, the chairman, I want to thank you, the audience, and I want to thank you for your active participation in this summit. As we arrange further summits in future, we expect more participation from all of you. Thank you, and the good Lord bless all of you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. To bring matters to a close, shall we please rise for the national anthem? National anthem. Just before the national anthem, Alhaji Kashim has... Thank you very much, President. Now, please.